All right, party people. Just signing on to say that I have finished the revisions for Act 1, meaning that I know pretty roughly what I want to fix and where, and like I have a starting point to launch into Act 2 now, or into Draft 2. Now the question will be, like, when I go to actually rewrite all of this, the question will be, okay, did I do enough work planning to fix and identifying, oh hey, that needs to change to this, that needs to be cut, this scene is not good, like those pieces and parts. Like, I hope that I've done enough that like when I go in to rewrite this in November, I don't hit some sort of like wall and it doesn't work. But right now I'm trucking through, annotating everything that I've written, and I am catching some things like with a bird's eye view that I haven't caught before. So, you know, like some plot things, some inconsistencies. So that's really great. I have dinner. That was something that I was worried about, that like I wasn't gonna get a good enough zoom out, but like doing the read through like this, and then like I think also the reverse outline, so like basically quickly summarizing what it was that I just read, that is giving me like that mental exercise of like remembering, okay, just like kind of the full scope of like what has transpired. The reverse outline is helping me keep straight and like having things stick in my brain so much better. What are the inconsistencies? Because I can remember the details a whole lot better. Like little things, like scene to scene flow. Like one chapter, like the previous chapter ends and they're like talking off of the sparring mat, and then the next chapter starts and she's still on the sparring mat. Like little things like that where I like don't have it straight, because like I wrote their POVs separately, so when I went to split and splice everything together, there are things that are like misaligned like that, and this zoom out is helping me catch those things and be like, okay, you need to blend this scene and this scene together better, this is redundant, cut it out. And I guess that's just like a symptom of the way that I went about writing this first draft, and it's what I have to deal with. But overall, like so far, nothing too egregious. I have a feeling Act 2 is going to be really hard. It's what I'm breaking into. I don't know. I'm going to get into the first couple chapters and I'll let you guys know how it is, how it goes. If things are dire, if the situation increases to like a level 10, like, oh my God, this needs an overhaul, I'll check in. But I'm just going to eat some dinner and work my way through this. Wish me luck.
Got you a story to tell, said to stop you if I'd already heard it. I knew a couple words and let you go, 'cause I knew you preferred it. And I like the sound of you reading your texts as you take off your glasses and pray. It feels like a crowd of you, theories in practice, and I won't fact check you away. You think we're all his creation, and the only thing I put my faith in. You bought me a figurine, baby. I laughed at the weird souvenir. You watched me packing your baggage. Guess I'm just a tourist here. Is it pathetic, or am I prophetic for knowing a turn for the worst? It's a garden of Eden, we're finally eating the truth. What a punishment. You think we're all his creation,
is Sunday. It's Sunday at about 3 o'clock. And I'm checking in because I haven't done much of anything really. I mean, that's kind of a lie, but like I haven't filmed much. So just been enjoying a pretty peaceful weekend, honestly. We got some pumpkins, went to the pumpkin patch, which is super fun. I recommend going and cutting your own pumpkin free of the vine because that is just a magical experience. And if you want to like unleash your inner child, that's what you should do. Let's see. Writing update. Nothing crazy to report. We're still going at a good pace and I'm really proud of that. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be fine. But I am foreseeing that I will need to do probably some replotting that might slow me down in November. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. I'm seeing that because like I can do a little bit of forward thinking. Like I've already kind of rearranged some stuff in my notes and said, okay, you know, this is a completely new scene, cut this, do this instead. Like I've already kind of thought through some of that, but then there are other things like some lore that I need to figure out and some timeline stuff that I need to get straight or make sure that I have straight. That needs to happen and I'm just like not sure. Probably just need to make a day to do some world building, do some timeline shifting around. That's just kind of a part of the package, but it's like I don't love the idea of like stopping what I'm trying to get done now to like do that stuff on the back end that's gonna like make drafting draft 2 so much better and easier. So it's like I know I need to do it, but it's like I'm so locked in on revising all this stuff that it's like I don't want to stop doing that to do this other thing over here. So I'm probably gonna make a day. I think I want to get through Act 2 before I do that. So like maybe between Act 2 and Act 3, depending on how much time I have, I'm gonna do my best to get through as much of Act 2 today as I can. And is this going too fast? Like, are there any experienced writers in my audience that are going, girl, I don't know what you're doing for revisions, but you're doing it wrong because you shouldn't be moving that quickly? Let me know. For clarification, I'm not line editing. I'm not working on word choice. I'm not working on like, I'm not looking at sentence. Like we're not in the sentence level. I'm just in developmentally, where are my characters at and where is my plot at? And what are some things that need to shift going into a second draft? So we're going from like a raw meat first draft, like the worst version of this story that could possibly exist, is now getting like the second like smallest step up. So I'm doing like big broad strokes, bird's eye view, what needs to change moving forward. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing at all on like anything else that's like minutia detail. That's kind of it. So should this be taking me much longer, or is what I'm doing, is that enough? And I understand everyone has their process. You don't have to give me that spiel. I want honest feedback. How long does it take you to revise and why? Because I need to take that into consideration, because like if I revise this whole thing and it ends up just being another first draft, like what's the point? Is there anything else I wanted to mention? Oh yeah, something else. And I just want to throw it out there because I've been on AuthorTube longer than I've been viewing AuthorTube for longer than I've been on AuthorTube. I have noticed these questions float around in this space, and it's like, what do you do with ideas? How do you get ideas? Blah blah blah, whatever. The idea mill, how does that work? And I just throw out some my experience with this. Maybe this resonates with someone, maybe it doesn't, but very rarely, and I'm just going to speak for myself, very rarely does one story, is it complete from just like one idea. Normally, one novel, a whole story, is like a collection of 50 different ideas. And they brew for a little bit and they sit around, and then at some point I decide to write it. I have a novella cooking on the back burner for the universe that I'm working in right now, and I kind of did a little bit of drafting for it at one point and just like stopped doing that because I wanted to focus in on the actual novel that I was working on. But that's happened. It's just kind of, it's chooching in the back. It's got notes, it's got its own Google Drive at this point, but that's just sitting, that's back burner stuff. But the other day I was thinking about, let's see, what was I watching? I was watching something or listening to something, and I was thinking about forests and fantasy worlds, and how oftentimes they follow like this pattern where it's like, this is this magical forest, like once you go in you never come out alive. And I was just thinking about the plot points that I often see with main characters or whatever in going through forests and fantasy stories. And I'm thinking of Mirkwood from The Hobbit. I'm thinking about the woods from One Dark Window. Like I'm thinking of, and they don't exactly follow that, but I'm thinking of woods, like dangerous woods in fantasy stories, and how so often it's like, don't go in there, but guess who like goes in there, and you're probably not gonna survive, but guess who survives? And then there's probably some sort of like mentor, weird mystical person living in the forest that like saves whoever, and they have this conversation, and they live in this cute little cabin with their strange magic, whatever. Okay, and they come out and it's like nothing happened. I don't know. And I was like, you know, what would make that different for me? I thought of a line of dialogue. What would make this different for me? And did I write it down? Yes, I did. I'm not working on a fantasy story right now. That's not something that that's not where my focus is at. But I was like, okay, that's an idea and I like it, so I'm gonna write it down. And it was like, oh, you'll come out, but you won't be the same. The forest won't kill you. It's not dangerous. It's not, don't go in there. It's, yeah, you can go in there, but like, you're gonna come out different. That's not like a wildly different idea than anything that's ever been created before. But to me, in my brain, I was like, how could I make that trope exciting? And that's what my brain spit out for me. So it was concept that I know about, and then question, and then the output was a line of dialogue. I don't know who says it. I don't know who they say it to. I don't know. I don't know any of that, and I don't have to know it. I just have it written on the back of some printer paper, some used printer paper. Oh, what's on the other side? A little fantasy map that I drew. I got a hankering. I wanted to try the whole rice, like the beans or the grain on the paper, and then you draw the fantasy map around it. Anyway, so I tried that and I had a lot of fun with it. So I kept it. It was also inspired by this idea of like 6 kingdoms. I don't know why it popped into my brain, but that's okay. And I'm gonna say, just for the sake of my own creative pursuit, I'm gonna take the idea of this semi-dangerous, mysterious forest, and I'm gonna take the idea of the 6 kingdoms and this fantasy map that I've created, and I'm gonna squish them together, and I'm gonna say that's the same thing. I don't know what it's gonna be. Maybe it's nothing, but that's an idea. I've got it documented, and I'm putting it away. I can think about it later. Around the time that I drew the fantasy map, I made a Pinterest board to go with it. I do have a little Pinterest board brewing on the back corner, and the stuff on it is, I do have like a sort of title, but I'm probably not going to share it right now, but I'll show you kind of what I've got brewing and like kind of what's in my brain when I think about these 6 kingdoms, when I think about this weird twisted forest, and it's just sitting there brewing. I don't know anything yet, really. I have a collection of ideas. It's growing right now. It's like 3 or 4 main ideas. I'm just documenting it, and it's not at a point where I'm like super excited about it yet. It's just intriguing. It's piqued my interest. It's inspiring, but it's a wholly different genre. Like fantasy is very different from what I'm writing right now. Right now, the story that I'm in is what's most exciting to me. It's the story that I'm trying to write. It's the story that I feel the most involved in, the most in love with the characters. This fantasy story idea is gonna probably brew for a long time, and I'm gonna let it do that. There are going to be more ideas that pop into my head, because now that I have kind of like this birth of this new sort of vibe, which is basically all it is at this point. It's just no plots, just vibes. When new ideas come in, I'm just gonna throw that in the same basket. Let the ideas get to know each other. I don't know how else to phrase this, but that's kind of how that's working for me. And that's all. And I don't allow myself to spend hours on this because it's not my primary focus. Again, it's not exciting enough to distract me from what I'm really, where my heart really is. That's my process. As of now, again, more experienced writers, more experienced authors, leave your 2 cents. I'm curious. Everyone's process is different. However, there is something to be gained, something to be learned from people who have done it before and do it a lot. Those guidelines are kind of like the pirate code. They're not laws, they're not rules, they're more like guidelines, but they can be really, really helpful. There you go. That's what's in my brain, and that's what's happening in the frontal lobe right now. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna continue with revisions today. I'm gonna see how far I get. I'll check back in with you at some point, maybe.
You, a story to tell, said to stop you if I'd already heard it. I knew a couple words in, let you go, 'cause I knew you preferred it. And I like the sound of you reading your texts. You take off your glasses and pray.
This is a horrifying angle, but I'm just checking in. I just got home from work. I don't have anything to say except I'm gonna start writing. It's 4:30, I just got home. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and do like a little bit of a warm-up session. Aside from that, I wanted to... I know you're a fan of Sleep Token, but like, do you have a CD? Do you? I've got, even in Arcadia here, I've got 2 more on the way, and I will reveal. I'll do an unboxing. I'm doing an unboxing right now. Did I mention this already? My husband and I are working on a collection of physical media because we're really annoyed with streaming services. We have started to try and like just get more physical stuff of the things that we like. And my car still has a CD player, so I'm taking advantage of that. The acoustics in your car is probably much better than whatever comes through your headphones. I know I hate to tell you that, but it's just true. And I'm so excited about this. This is what I'm gonna blast tomorrow on my way to the workplace. I'm very happy. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
It's a garden of Eden. We're finally eating the truth. What a punishment. You think we're all His creation, and the only thing I put my faith in, and oh, you cried at your own confirmation, and the only thing I put my faith in. Got you a story to tell, said to stop you.
Hi, it's Wednesday. It only takes so long. I always think I'll last longer in the work week before I'm just like really done. I'm fine. I just need to not quit. I don't mean like, I do mean, but I don't mean like quit as in like hand in my 2 weeks notice. I mean just like, I need to not give up. Yeah, that might be too much for this vlog. Don't quit. Don't give up. Quit. No quit. Noodles. Don't noodles. That's where I am. And so I'm trying to sit down and write, and I'm just like, I literally had 45 minutes and I just disassociated for 45 minutes. I just kind of sat in silence, scrolled on my phone. I wasted time, and I hate when I do that. But it was like, I don't know, it's like when you just like have to stop for a minute and just reset, transition from work to home. And like, even though I really hate that took 45 minutes, I'm glad I did it because I'm feeling like I pressed record. I've got my laptop open, like we're here. I have tea. I'll drown my capybara because he's not getting soaked enough. He's pooping really good. I'm gonna light a candle. I'm gonna listen to some music. I'm gonna enjoy my time. And at this point, I'm just making that decision. Let's do this one. Okay, so that's like the positive note that we all wanted to start this session on, but it's like, I don't know, there's something about the ritual that I have set up where it's like tea, lamp, it's this time of day, and now it's like, it kind of sounds cliche, but it's like you press record to film the update and to say, oh, I'm about to sit down to write, and it's like, okay, showtime. So whatever was bothering me before I sat down, it's like that gets farther away because I'm doing something else now. There's not really anything new to report. I got through a chapter yesterday, and so I'm going to try to get through some more chapters. I'm gonna put that in Track Bear. I'm just now noticing this, that I have a 5-day streak. Thank you, Track Bear. That made me feel a little bit better. My writing group on Discord has been talking. I'm gonna read that, I'm gonna put in my headphones, and I'm going to write. Yay. It's Thursday. Thank God. I'm very excited about the fact that it is Thursday. We are on chapter 26. I'm almost done for what I've slotted for Act 2. It's not as abysmal as I thought it was going to be. Like, there's definitely room for growth and room for the plot that I feel like I'm missing, but it's not a complete waste of space. There's some important stuff in here, but I am definitely finding ways that I want to incorporate that differently. So ways I want to add to it, take away, change, rearrange. Like, I'm getting all the things. I'm still looking forward to being done with it, honestly. But I think I'm gonna be just about ride this rain. I think I'm going to need to pencil in a world building day where I try to establish some lore, some things that I've like sprinkled in, and I need to like go back in my own mind and get straight, okay, what happened exactly? There are things that have happened in the history of Earth that I need to figure out. There are things that have happened in the history of warfare that I need to get ironed out. There are things in like characters' backgrounds that I need to get ironed out and sorted. And like, I know something happens in this like negative space, but like I don't know what that is yet. And so I think I need to figure out a time before November where I actually like plot that out. Yeah, I also think I want to add a prologue and an epilogue to the book, but I have been playing around with it. One of the main things that happens that kind of sets the plot in motion is this massive explosion of a space thing, and I think I need to write that in as a prologue, but I don't know exactly. So it's just something to open the loop. But the nice thing is I've put them in my document, and really all I need to do is Command F the word lore, because I add as a tagline to each of those things, figure out the lore, or add lore, or flesh out the lore. So the things that I need to fix are going to be easy to find, fingers crossed. You want to come with me and make some tea? Let's go downstairs. Okay, so essentially I'm doing great. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing good work, but I'm also like tired, and it's not because of the writing. I'm tired for other reasons and because of stuff that's not in my control. You know what they say, writing a book is hard. It's just kind of a part of the process of being a full-time employee, like being a human and then also doing the thing. And it's just, man, I wish I could do this just for my job. I wish this were a sustainable thing for me to do at this point for my job. That would just be so cool. All is well. I don't have like crazy much to, I don't have too much to say. There goes the writing. And I'm probably gonna wrap up the vlog for today. So if I don't check in, is I'll try to edit and post this on Friday. I'm looking forward to this weekend so much. I wanted to sign off, do an outro. At this point, I don't remember what has been filmed. I don't know what this week has been. This week has been full of adventure, that is for sure. But like, at the same time, it's been fairly mundane. Like, I've just had the normal challenges that I always have, and the days have been as monotonous and exciting as they have always been. So pretty average week. However, I'm very excited to report that last night I worked till about 10 o'clock and I am on chapter 29. It's just, which is the last chapter in Act 2 that I have slotted currently for Act 2. So this weekend, we're breaking into Act 3, which is exciting. I'm so excited. And I'm like, okay, I definitely think I can make good on my plan to take a day or two to fix the world building stuff. And like, that's awesome. The plan is to break into Act 3 and I'm really excited. The pace that I'm keeping on this has been encouraging to my heart. And then at the same time, it's like Act 3 is a beast. So I am not sure some stuff. Oh, also kind of a significant update. So a significant update on that front is that I have recognized that I started a conflict and then I never resolved a particular piece of that conflict in this book. So one of the big things that I need to sort out is a resolution to that conflict. It was like I went into Act 3 and just like kind of completely forgot what I was doing, because all of Act 1 and 2 is setting up this whole thing, and then I just don't touch it in Act 3. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I missed that in my outline. I don't know how, but like it's important, it's significant. I'm already gonna have to rework it from start to finish anyway, but I'm glad that I noticed that, because it's going to be pretty significant as I'm going into Act 3, as I'm going to try and identify the places where the resolution to that particular conflict will come into play. And I think it also answers the question, because in my brain I've been trying to figure out, how do I summarize this story? What's the one-liner? What's the central physical outer conflict that this story seeks to resolve? And it was always really, really hard because it was not very focused. And I was like, oh, I just need to like boil down the politics a little bit more. No, girlfriend. You forgot that you spent 2 acts of this book building up a conflict that you never find an answer to. You just kind of forget about it. And again, I don't know how I did that. Rookie mistake. Honest, but it's okay. This is why we revise. This is why we catch things, because this is a book in a series. Like the big conflict that I'm weaving together, the setup for this massive space war, that starts in this book, but something gets resolved by the end of this book. Like the inciting incident is this explosion, and then we have to figure out who set up the explosion and how did they do it, and like who is the main culprit, and who do we need to hold accountable, and then like are there moles, are there people that we can't trust that helps this happen, and are trying to start a war between Earth and Uranus, and blah 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 blah. And we don't get to that end. We don't find the culprit. We don't find the rat. Okay, I never figure out who the rat is and how they're uprooted. It doesn't happen. That's kind of a big deal. I just jump right into Space War without fixing that one little piece. I just dive right into Space War and I don't fix the problem that set up the book. Again, I have no idea how I managed not to do that, but I did. So I think potentially I try to figure some of that stuff out this weekend also, maybe. I don't know. That's the update. I don't know why I'm so energetic. I think it's just the end of the week and I had a good day. Friday was a good day at the office, all right? The rest of the week was butt cheeks. Maybe this weekend I utilized the sticky notes. How exciting! Okay, I'm gonna edit this vlog and upload it. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. Good luck on your writing journeys. Happy weekend, guys.